Good morning, beloveds. I'm a little bleary-eyed today, and I'm not sure why. Um, yeah. So, uh, it's warm and damp and cloudy. I took my sunglasses because there was a possibility of seeing the sun, and then didn't. And it actually started to sprinkle on us, and we were like, So, uh, I made my intentions clear tomorrow. If it is raining when the alarms go off, I'm going back to bed. We'll see. We'll see if that actually happens. I got my bike ride in yesterday. I got my walk in today. We actually saw a pair of hawks this morning. I tried to take a picture. It probably won't come out because they were in the tops of trees. But, it is what it is, right? So, okay. It is February 7th. Our title is Impossible or I'm Possible. Oh, I forgot the question mark. Oh, well. Okay, first quote. This one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. Philippians 3:13. The second quote is, life is a blackboard upon which we consciously or unconsciously write those messages which govern us. We hold the chalk and the eraser in our hand. And that is Science of Mind, page 412. The children's story about the little train chugging up the steep hill may or may not be familiar to you, but the idea of the little train persistently repeating to itself the words, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, is one that we can all find meaningful. No matter how steep your hill may be, remember to say, I think I can, and the way becomes easier. What do you think you can or cannot do? Being clear about this is important, for what you think is what you are instructing divine mind to create for you through you. Do you have self-imposed restrictions in your life? Do you fill your mind with the I can'ts? Start now to think you can. Believe you can. Ultimately, the can'ts will dispel the belief that the can'ts in your life. Move from the impossible to the I'm possible now. The little train in the story kept repeating, I think I can, I think I can, all the way up the hill. When it reached the top and began descending on the other side, it confidently declared, I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could. What a testimony to the persistent belief in victory, no matter the steepness of the hill. There is a power within you that can will action whatever. Okay. There is a power within you that will act on what you say you can or cannot do. So think you can and you will. Focus on the I cans, and the I can'ts will disappear as you claim your victory. I change the cannots in my vocabulary to can do's. I am filled with an exuberant belief in the power of God within me to bring about all the good I can envision. I allow life to flow freely and abundantly through me, knowing there is no limit to the full expression of my God-given potential. And that is NH. That is Norma Hawkins. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble enunciating today. And I have two thoughts. One of the things, and Jesse was talking about it on Sunday, the interesting thing about the power is if we think we can't, then the power proves itself by not working. It's like if you don't believe the power works, then the power proves that your belief is powerful by not working. And then you're proving yourself, but yeah, so maybe not, don't do that. But the other thing, it's earlier in the, paragraph, or the first paragraph. Where was it? Do you have self-imposed restrictions on your life? Do you fill your mind with the I can'ts? And that's one of those things where, if you go and look at in the animal world, specifically, like they do it with elephant training. and horses and, animals like that, where when they're very young, they put very, very heavy, chains on them because they're young and the chains are too heavy for them to move. And so they learn very young that they can't move those chains. So as they grow in age and power to the point that those very heavy chains would no longer be an impediment, they are convinced that they are because they were trained when they were young. Okay, I can't move this. This is as far as I can go. And so they can use very small chains or ropes to restrict their movement, because they have taken in that lesson. And frequently that's exactly the same lesson that will happen to us. Is like, there will be a point where, we've had a heavy chain put on us, or we put a heavy chain on ourselves, and we have reinforced that belief to the point that we no longer are even aware that that chain is there. We have just lived our lives with this restriction for so long. And then, we don't even see it anymore. It's like we are running on old tapes that are no longer true, and yet. And so if we want, at any point we could snap that chain, or at any point we could go, well, I've outgrown that restriction, or at any point, and yet we don't, because we're no longer aware of them. So that's one of the reasons why it's good to go back and do self-inventories occasionally and look at those beliefs that are no longer true, or beliefs that no longer serve us, because we've grown past them. It's like, so, if that elephant at any one point moved in just such a right way that they snapped the chain, then they would suddenly go, oh, wait a minute. That can't hold me anymore. And usually that only happens when they're startled into it. And a lot of times that's exactly what'll happen with us. It's like we're panicked into, and we go, oh, wait, I thought I couldn't do this. And yet here I am doing it. It would be nice if we didn't have to get panicked into it. It would be nice if we could just, test our restrictions more often and learn, one, sometimes they're self-imposed. Sometimes they were imposed by other people who are no longer in our lives. It's very often that people who love us will tell us things that are just not true. And they tell us these things for our own good. And yet here we are 30 years later, still running on those tapes. It's like, it's a restriction that's holding us back, but it's not true anymore. And so doing a self-inventory and looking at those old tapes and looking at those old restrictions and going, well, that's not true anymore. I've outgrown that. And cleaning up our inventory would be a good idea. It's like, how many, chains are holding us that really shouldn't anymore, because either they're not attached to anything anymore, or we've literally outgrown them, or they were never true in the first place. So, it's an excellent lesson to think about. And that quote, there's a quote for, I believe it's Audrey Hepburn, that says, when you look at the word impossible, I'm possible is literally in the word. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. Sometimes we get so specific in what we want that we line out we narrow out, we push out the possibilities. And so sometimes we need to back just up a couple of steps and look at a bigger picture. Sometimes it's as simple as going, you know what? This chain no longer holds me. I've grown past it. Or, you know what? That restriction that was put on me by this person, well, this person's not in my life anymore. Why am I still holding to that restriction? So, or sometimes that person's still in our life. They just no longer hold the place of authority that they used to. And we can look at them and go, yeah, I'm going to run my own life now. There's a song, and I can't remember the name of the song, but there's a line in the song that says, I'll be damned if I let them run my life when they can't even run their own. So, Yep. So the mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to repeat to ourselves, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Or maybe even change the words a little bit more and go, I know I can. I know I can. And I know I can because Spirit's got my back. Spirit can do anything for me that Spirit can do through me. And so sometimes what I need to do is get out of my own way. That's the mission today. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. I know I can. And if it means snapping a chain, if it means removing somebody from a position of authority in our heads, if it means, stepping back and taking a look at a wider field of possibility, all of that is open. All of that is open. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. And that's one of the reasons why one of our mottos has been, change your thinking, change your life. Sometimes it's as simple as that. I think I can. I know I can. I know you can. All right, beloveds. That is the mission today, should we choose to accept it. The second thing that I suggest every day, which is the spiritual practice of doing something loving for yourself, doing something kind for yourself, doing something compassionate for yourself. Be it one thing, be it 3 different things, be it a whole day of things. The more you practice, the more it becomes that habit, that default setting, that first response. And that is my goal. It is absolutely about self-care. I make no bones about it. I believe that we should take care of ourselves first because we can't pour from an empty cup. And it literally is in spiritual work. It literally is that airplane model. When the oxygen masks drop, you put your oxygen mask on before you help your neighbor. Take care of yourself. Absolutely take care of yourself. That is the point of this, to practice on yourself, to create that first response of love, kindness, and compassion. And the reason is because once you create that habit, that first response, that default setting, because you deserve your own love, you deserve your own kindness, you deserve your own compassion, you start to create a bank of it. You start to create a bank. And you also create a relationship with the infinite source of love, of kindness, of compassion, which is the center of your being. The source of you is love, kindness, and compassion. When you create that, then when you meet people that need a little bit extra, you've got plenty to share. Absolutely. And when you step into that impossible situation, with all that love, kindness, and compassion back of you, then you can look at that impossible situation and say, you know what? Maybe I can't handle all of this, but I can handle this part. And maybe the rest of this isn't mine to do, but this is. And that's what love, kindness, and compassion looks like. Absolutely. And I did see a meme that made me stop and think, okay, you can always afford to be nice. You can always afford to be kind. You can always afford to be compassionate. And it said, but we can't always, because in toxic relationships, we can't afford to. Okay. So here's what I'm going to tell you. You can always be kind. And sometimes the kindest thing that you can do is remove yourself from the situation. Remove yourself from that toxic relationship. Remove yourself from that toxic situation. It's kind to you and it's kind to the person that you're involved with here. So you can always afford to be kind because you don't have to be present to be kind. So that's why I say love, kindness, and compassion. It is about self-care. I make no bones about that. And I also make no bones about the fact that the first person you need to take care of is you. Now, the other part of it is absolutely about joy. It is about making room for joy. That is why one of the suggestions that I give after taking a deep breath before you speak is to eat dessert first. I do literally mean occasionally you should eat dessert first, but I also mean that as a metaphor. Your life is a special occasion. Don't save the good stuff. Use the good stuff now. Do the good stuff now. Make the time for the good stuff. Make room for joy in your life, no matter what is going on, especially if the work that you do is heavy, especially if the work that you do is melancholy. Make room for joy. Make room for joy. We have a big memorial coming up at the center this Saturday. And we were told on Sunday that the person that we are doing this for doesn't want us to wear black. And we all went, okay, so we are going to wear bright colors. It came out in the email today. So I went and bought a teal dress and a green sweater. So we'll see. There we are. There we are. So make room for joy. Even in the midst of situations like that, make room for joy. Okay. Now, the other suggestions are mostly self-care. Do something to engage your mind and your body. Please drink plenty of water. Hydration is important. Your brain works better. So when you are looking at the impossible situations, when you are well hydrated, you will see much more detail and opportunity when you're hydrated. And I do encourage you to get that early in your day bright light. When you get that early in your day bright light, you are helping to support a circadian rhythm, which is a hormone balance rhythm. And when you do that, you'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night, or whatever your day and night is. So please do get that early in your day bright light. It's science. You can look it up. And then, in the words of Ernest Holmes, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. When I say that, when I say open the windows of your soul, I have a very definite image that goes with that. On Sunday, I came home from the center and it was 70-something degrees outside. So I threw my windows open. And when I do that, when I open the windows, there's just this breath across my forearms that is cool air. And it's a very specific feeling. And that's what I envision. That feeling is what I think of when I'm talking about opening the windows of my soul. It's that cooling breath that blows across me that just kind of makes me go, where I take that deep breath and then I let it go. And it is about joy, and it is about love, and it is about kindness, and it is about vulnerability. When we open the windows of our soul, we let love in, we let love out, we let light in, but we also let it out. And it does ask something of us. But what it returns to us is so much more. Because when we do that, we learn that heaven is a state of mind. We learn that it is a state of consciousness. We learn that we create it for ourselves. Nobody can create that for us. That is our job. And the partner that we have to do it with is the best partner we could ask for, because it's spirit. And then when we learn how to create that state of mind, that state of consciousness, heaven ceases to be a place and becomes any place. And when we practice regularly, it can become every place. It absolutely is a superpower. I make no bones about that, but I remind you that it is a superpower that you come pre-installed with. In the Western Hemisphere, we call it the Christ consciousness. They probably call it somewhere else in other faith traditions, but it's the one that makes the most sense to us, the Christ consciousness. And the password to activate it is love. We come pre-installed with that. That is why Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. We come pre-installed. All right. He came to teach us how to access it. So we should take that lesson and run. Okay. And then we can always take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. So I think I'm at the social media part where I remind you we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. We ask you to like, share, and subscribe. Or subscribe, like, and share. Whatever. You know what I mean. And if you want to know what's going on with the center, including the memorial coming up, because there's information in that, we are open to receiving the Zoom links now. So if you want to request that, it's email info@creativelife.org. That's our email, info@creativelife.org. That will get you on a constant contact. And the constant contact, the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it will take you right to the information that you want or to the person that can help you get it. So please do that. And yeah, there we are. So I'm at the part of the day where I encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a graceful day, a terrific day. It's Tuesday. Terrific Tuesday. A learning something new day, a hey, checking out the hawks in the neighborhood day, listening to the birds sing day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough just as you are. You are a beloved child of God. You are a divine spark. You are a brilliant light. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are a godling in whom God is well pleased and well represented. It is a state of grace. And if you don't know what a state of grace is, look it up, because it's really cool. It can't be earned. It is always granted, and it can't be taken away. And that is what we are, states of grace. States of grace. All right. Oh, the cat just rolled over and put his back up against my thigh, and he's warm because he's laying on a heating pad. Oh, and that is a feeling that is worth having. Okay. I guess I'm at the part where I remind you that, Reverend David should be at around 5 p.m. with you on Facebook Live. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.